Day trading the stock market, flipping houses, flipping cars, buying Bitcoin after a huge dip, and sports gambling are all really lucrative endeavors. The allure of fast money affects us all. What's crazy is when you see people with generational money still participate in something that is fast money. Cameo is a service that allows people to pay for a shout out from a quasi-celebrity. Some of these people, like Grant Cardone, still participate in activities that make them fast money, even though I'm left questioning, why are you doing this for $1,000, even if it's only for just a few minutes of your time?
Look, and I know you like red wine, I know you like golf, and I know you got 3 kids. I know it all, bro. Justin, Adelina, Flora, and your wife, Lauren. I know the whole deal. I've been scooping you out, scoping you out, checking you out, okay?
I think it's inherent within all of us to want quick money. Money in our current society is the most important resource. Without it, we can't eat, we have nowhere to sleep, and we can't afford Tinder Gold. Crypto world experienced a little dip the other day. Kind of funny that I released a couple of videos lately explaining why we're in a mania and that the best investment will always be in yourself. I'm going to keep this video short, but stick around for a few minutes and I think you'll enjoy the message. Social media's prevalence in our lives has correlated perfectly with one of the best financial decades in America's history. A lot of people who have won in the game of investing in the stock market, real estate, apartments, flipping houses, or crypto have won big and become social media stars. The median household income in Las Vegas, where I live, is around $50,000 to $60,000 a year. 59% of adults in the US admit to living paycheck to paycheck, according to Charles Schwab's 2019 Modern Wealth Index survey. A recent study by global advisory firm Willis Towers Watson found that 18% of employees making more than $100,000 annually live paycheck to paycheck. What you see on social media in the business space, entrepreneurs, real estate investors, crypto investors, are the outliers of financial success. They are generally the small percent of people who have won big. It's easy for us to think, man, everyone is winning big right now. Why am I not? Even people making good money are going to be following someone with more and wonder, why am I not as successful as they are? Crypto world had a little flashback to reality moment the other day. Bitcoin reached about $63,000 per coin middle of April and was as low as $35,000 roughly a month later. I think I saw it might have even dipped a little lower than $35,000. The crazy thing is this could happen again very soon. Bitcoin could also double over the next couple of months. No one knows. I'm still relatively new in the investment world, so my content and message is generally for new investors. If you get caught up in mania and buy near a top, then getting back to the top after a massive drop is much more difficult than it appears. Let's say an investor bought Bitcoin at $60,000 a coin because they finally felt it was safe enough to buy and the news was hyping the coin to the moon. They hear experts predicting $100,000 a coin very soon, so they buy. If the coin drops to $30,000, for easy numbers, that represents a 50% drop. Here's the kicker. Bitcoin is now $30,000 a coin. In order to reach back up to $60,000 a coin for you to at least not lose money, the coin will need to experience a 100% gain. 50% drop requires a 100% gain in order to break even. This is why losing money with day trading can be so damaging. When you lose money, you then need to make a higher percentage gain in order to recoup because your balance is now less. I personally think the smart money in crypto is going to make a killing. The people who hold the top coins are probably going to have massive returns over the next couple of years. I just think that a lot of the new money in crypto is day trading and they're going to lose big. The last couple of days reminded me of one of my favorite movie quotes from one of my favorite movie scenes.
It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything.
It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything. It's a quote that has stuck with me ever since I watched Fight Club, and I think it relates to business and investing quite well. My guess is that a lot of new investors just had their portfolio slapped in the mouth this week, even though I believe Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of these altcoins are going to be solid investments for the long haul. It doesn't change the fact that some people are going to lose a lot of money or a lot of time waiting for the coin to appreciate enough to break even. With the 40% drop over the past few weeks in crypto world, it made me think about something that is inevitable to all of us, and that is losing money. I've had the good fortune of being able to hang with financially successful people lately, and want to know what is common among all of them? They've lost money or experienced major setbacks.
This house is not the first time we've ever lost money. In fact, I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars on bad deals. I've never had one that lost this big, being really long on hold time, I lost over $60,000.
Here's my friend Ryan Pineda sharing how he lost $60,000 on one house flip. That's just one deal. I know he has many more where he lost money. My friend Noah Kagan experienced multiple setbacks, including getting fired from Facebook and Mint and losing the opportunity of early employee company stock worth millions before starting a company that has taken off. I had an awesome lunch the other day with my friend Brett, who is now running multiple successful companies, but shared with me his journey of losing a lot of money and the failure of his app Hive that was set to become one of the larger social media apps. These major setbacks would have crippled most people. Rick Ross, one of the biggest rappers of the last decade, was on the I Am Athlete podcast and discussed his early days before he made it.
You gotta earn it. And I did, I wrote raps, I wrote verses, I wrote songs for over a decade and had never earned a penny. And of course, it was...
How long you wrote for?
Over a decade.
Really think about how long a decade is. If you started a hobby now with the hopes of making money from it, imagine working on your craft and not earning a penny until May 21st, 2031. That's dedication. 10 years.
Without pain, without sacrifice, we would have nothing.
If you hang around millionaires, you'll find that almost all of them will have experienced major setbacks. Some will have lost profound amounts of money. Many will have gone through lawsuits, businesses going bankrupt, recessions, possibly a foreclosure. You name it. Losing money is pretty much inevitable for anyone trying to become financially successful. I think YouTube, Instagram, and the rise of investing-focused influencers has really helped bring people into the game of investing money. I'm super excited to see it, and I think it's a net benefit to society at large. But I have a feeling that all of the new investors jumping into the stock market and crypto markets looking to make some money on the hype haven't experienced investing loss yet. So the goal with this video is to show you that losing money is okay. It's not the end of the world. Read the biography of any successful business owner or investor, and they will all have moments of major setback or loss. Pace Morby is, in my opinion, the best educator on YouTube in the real estate space. He teaches seller financing methods really well, but what stands out to me most is what happened to him a few years ago.
Absolutely. He filed bankruptcy on me and 48 other people all at the same time.
Yeah, other friends that we have.
And the nearly $1 million that I lost, I was number 3 in line. Somebody else lost 1.6 and somebody else lost 1.3. And man, it was a tough time.
Pace is not an idiot. He was obviously doing well enough to float $1 million to someone who he had reason to believe was going to pay him back. And he's been wildly successful since. But he lost $1 million. $1 million. Do you know how much cash money that is? Bernie Madoff ran one of the most notorious and damaging Ponzi schemes in America's history. Do you have an idea on how many people lost money by investing in a scheme? I had no idea it was this many. An estimated 37,000 people were victims of Madoff's scheme. 37,000 people lost money investing in a scheme. That's a large town in itself. And a lot of those victims were people with high net worth, successful business owners, and even owners of the New York Mets. A lot of these people were savvy investors in other areas of life, but lost hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars with Madoff. Ready for another scandal? How about Enron? 15,000 Enron employees see their retirement account tank along with the stock. We couldn't take our money out of Enron stock into another portfolio. Basically, they had us locked down to where we had no say over our own future, he said. Lacey declined to quantify his own losses, but said he and many of his colleagues had invested most of their retirement funds in Enron stock because it had performed better in the past than the other investments available under the Enron plan. Denny said Enron employees normally were able to choose among 18 different investment options, but Enron's matching contributions were always made in the form of its own stock. Imagine saving up for years and stashing money away into your 401k only to have it vanish a few years away from retirement because the company you work for was a fraudulent company. How about losing your home? In 2008, there were 861,664 foreclosures in the United States. In 2009, another 871,086 foreclosures. Say goodbye to all of your equity and all of the principal you had been paying down. In 24 months, that's 1.7 million families who lost their home and the equity that was once theirs. This video isn't meant to be dark or pessimistic at all. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's a reminder that losing money can happen and likely will happen at some point when you begin investing. But it's okay because you learn and move forward. One step back to make 2 steps forward is how I see it.
Let me know if you feel it, man, cause everything I'm not made me everything I am.
Thanks, Kanye. Check this out from the stock market downturn of 2002. The NASDAQ dropped 40% in 2000, another 21% in 2001, and another 31% the following year. Dow Jones down 6%, 5%, then another 17%. Can you stomach these losses? Just sitting there watching football and seeing that your stock portfolio is down like 70% in a couple years. Remember, this doesn't happen overnight. These drops are over years. It's like a slow, painful death where your portfolio now needs a 300% return just to get back to where it once was. Losing money is just part of the game of investing, especially if you're trying to day trade in the stock market, short-term trade with crypto, flip real estate, or start your own business. It's basically going to happen. But one thing all of the people I've been fortunate to hang around have in common is that they bounced back and kept going. This isn't financially related, but a story that I found so endearing and fascinating was this guy Charles Oliveira, who just beat Michael Chandler the other night to become the UFC lightweight champion of the world. I believe it was his 40th professional fight, and I think I saw that he had the most fights in the UFC before getting a title shot. What a story! Think of all the setbacks Charles had to endure on his way to the top. You can see his journey in the way he celebrated after winning. It's obvious that he spent years battling for this opportunity, and then to win was one of the coolest videos I've watched in a while. How do you not get goosebumps watching the guy celebrate after waiting a decade for that moment? For some new investors, this crypto drop could be their first taste of a setback or financial loss if they sold. But don't worry, the best stories start with setbacks. What is the formula for a majority of the great Hollywood movies? People investing in crypto are experiencing a similar storyline. The protagonist is not the big bad bully of Wall Street. They're the underdog crypto investors believing in something different. They slowly build up to Act 2, where they are confronted with Elon Musk tweets, China doing China things, and the market tanking. The climax in Act 3 will be official when Elon confronts someone in an epic lightsaber battle in Times Square with flying Teslas all in the air in a battle of Dogecoin versus Bitcoin. The beauty of these epic Hollywood movies is seeing the protagonists get back up after defeat and climb their way back to the top. If you're a new investor and just lost 40% of your crypto portfolio, don't worry, and absolutely do not sell if you believe in the coins long term. I said it in my other crypto videos, the best return on any investment is learning a new skill or investing in something that brings reliable cash flow, like house hacking. You can't drop 40% overnight when you learn a new skill. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.
Let me know if you feel it, man, cause everything I'm not made me everything I am.